We are Ben and Mickey! 1, 2, 3, 4! Thanks for tuning in to 101.3 BKMG The Farce. Coming to you live from separate places, pre-recorded. Now presenting The Ben and Mickey Show. Anyway, if you're just tuning in now, hopefully, this is the podcast where we're going to talk about Barney and Friends.
Oh God. Everyone just deleted their phone, threw it in an ocean, smashed it on the ground. No.
Just kidding. We're talking about just the Friends.
Just the Friends. The Friends. Joey, Ross, Chandler, Monica, Phoebe.
No, everybody hates them.
Rachel. Everybody hates them.
What we're really talking about is Scott Pilgrim.
Scott Pilgrim versus the universe. Imagine if that
versus the world.
Versus the world. Yeah. Yeah. Can we have an animated cartoon that's just a Scott Pilgrim cartoon? Scott Pilgrim versus the world. That's the theme song. Yeah.
Yeah. No, I think that could work.
Okay, cool. Have you seen anything recent? Anything good recently?
I watched Chef and the Chef Show. It's that Jon Favreau movie came out in 2014 where he trained with Roy Choi as a chef, and he works in a fancy restaurant. It's owned by Dustin Hoffman, and then he kind of throws a bitch fit after getting a bad review, and he gets fired and starts a food truck and road trips from Florida back to California with his son and his buddy, who is John Leguizamo.
Oh.
And they start selling food.
Nice.
It's pretty cool. That's a very simplistic version of it, but it's actually a really good movie, and you should all watch it. And it's got Robert Downey Jr. and Scarlett Johansson in it, so...
Ooh. Okay.
Plus some really delicious food, so don't watch it if you're hungry.
Ooh. That's always the hard part, yeah.
Or have a snack present.
Maybe cook what they're cooking. There's a challenge for you.
So I watched the Chef Show, and there's an episode where they just make the food from the movie. So you can do that too.
Okay. Wait.
The Chef Show also has Robert Downey Jr.
Okay, it's the 2014 version because it looks like there's another version.
You probably think it's probably the Chef Show. That's came out in 2019.
Okay.
But it's Jon Favreau and Roy Choi making recipes with people and doing some of the recipes from the movie.
Nice.
It's pretty cool.
Okay. I watched Big Time Adolescence.
I have never heard of that.
Movie with Pete Davidson that came out last year. Oh, well, technically earlier this year, but it was at festivals in 2019. But it came out earlier in 2020. It's got Griffin Gluck, who's the kid from American Vandal.
Oh, I do remember that one now.
Yeah, it's basically Pete Davidson is this dropout, burnout idiot who has his friend is this her best friends with a 17-year-old, because he dated his sister when the kid was 7. But
it's awkward.
Yeah, it is. But then they still wanted to be friends. It's really, I don't know. It's stupid. It's the whole teenage kids doing parties, being dumb, getting in trouble, trying to avoid trouble. But it's good. It's got some funny moments. They both do a good job. It's a good pair. Yeah.
That's good.
And it's good to see Pete Davidson on something other than SNL. I mean, he's great on SNL, but it's also nice to see him acting outside.
I wonder how much longer he'll actually be on SNL.
Yeah, everyone's kind of been there for a while. I'm curious to see how long they keep it. It
kind of seems like he wants to quit or not renew his contract.
Yeah, he's been doing a lot of other things recently, and it's nice to see.
I'm pretty sure Keenan will be there forever.
Oh, jeez.
He'll be there for at least 20 more years.
Oh my God. I mean, you do you and all. I don't think I could do that for long.
I think he's done it for 17 years or something.
It's insane.
He's been there forever.
How? Okay. Today we're going to talk about Scott Pilgrim versus the world. So good and amazing. A film that came out in 2010 And this year was its 10th year anniversary.
Back in August on the 13th.
Yeah, back in August of 2020. And yeah, it was great. I watched they did a live stream reading cast reunion.
I should have watched
which
that.
Was amazing. It was so chaotic. Everyone is so grown up.
They're all so old, though.
I think Chris Pine had his dog at one point. It was cute.
Chris Evans, not
Chris Evans. One of the Chris's. Jesus. And then they had Brian Lee O'Malley, the graphic novelist, drawing scenes as they were reading, and then I think they auctioned them off. It was cool. But he would just like whip them out in like 10 minutes. I'm like, who is this guy? Fuck. But it was great. I think it's still on YouTube, and I think you can still watch it. It's probably like an hour. I don't know. I mean, I guess It's as long as the movie, so about 2 hours. But it's pretty good. It's really, really chaotic because they're all, it's a reunion. But I don't know. I think everyone just that the older grown-up energy is just chaotic in a good way. Michael Cera plays his guitar a little bit. It's pretty great.
I did not know he could actually play guitar.
Mm-hmm. He does it for the Ramona song, and it's lovely.
Well, I mean, he could have just learned the one song.
I'm pretty sure he says something about how he like practiced it like a ton just for that moment, for that like 5-second moment. Yeah. Man, where to start?
I remember the first time I watched it, way back in 2000 and something.
10 something.
And it was great, because I didn't know really anything about it. I just know it's kind of like a video game, like stylized movie.
Yeah.
It's like, all right, I'll check it out. And it was amazing. I've probably seen it like 20 times.
Yeah, it was great. I think it was maybe 2011 or 2000. Yeah, 2011 when I saw it. So it was after it had come out and after it was on DVD. But my brother made me read the comics first because he's a nerd, and he loved the graphic novels. So he was like, "You need to see this movie, but you need to read the graphic novels first." And I read them in like a day because they're really short. But
and there were like 8 of them or 7 of them or something like that. But they're pretty good.
Yeah, they're pretty good. They're amazing. So I read those, and then he let me watch the movie. Not that like I couldn't have just watched it on my own, but
that's the principle of the thing.
Right. Yeah. It was kind of like I don't know what this is or what I'm getting into. So here's a 8-part guide.
Well, and it's, I don't know if you know or heard this, but like the graphic novel wasn't actually finished when the movie came out.
Yeah.
So they kind of worked together. But like it's like a really good adaptation and way to, like, it gets all the major points of the story and kind of nails the whole thing.
And there's even like shots that are taken, like shots in the film that are taken out of the comic book. It's great.
There's a lot of dialogue too.
A lot of dialogue and graphics, like text graphics. Michael Cera is so little in this.
He's just a little boy. He's just
so small.
Just a little fella.
When I was watching this, I didn't realize that they're all like 22, 23, and I'm like, they're my age now.
Babies.
And I was like, oh my god, I can relate so much to all these dumb 20-year-olds. No, compared to when I was, 12 and watching it. But also, Kieran Culkin is such an idol. Oh my gosh.
He's the best.
Oh my gosh.
Macaulay is great, but Kieran really kind of kills it.
He does. I've been told to watch, this is off topic, but the Succession. Apparently he's really, really good in Succession, so gotta go.
Well, he's really, really good in this.
He's also, but yeah, no, he's really, really good in this. He's great.
You gotta break out the L word, Scott. Lesbian.
The other L word.
Lesbians. It's love, Scott. I wasn't trying to trick you. Also, I need you to move out.
We don't use the E word in this house.
It's so quotable, and it's so pretty, and it's so
Oh,
stylized, and all
oh,
the performances are great.
oh.
It's kind of just a beautiful little masterpiece from start to finish.
Yeah. And like I was saying, it is very much like just a a, a live action visualization of the comics. It like everything is just taken out of it. It's amazing. It's beautiful. Mwah, chef's kiss. Yeah, all the animation. You've got this like video game and superhero comic book kind of mashup. And of course, it's Edgar Wright, so you got these really great editing styles. Yeah,
Great dialogue. Story moments, and foreshadowing, and it's a really like just there's layers on layers on layers.
Right.
You can, I mean, I've seen it tons of times, and I still find something different every time I watch it.
That's like, for sure,
oh,
yeah.
I didn't see that before, or oh, that's really cool, or
just timeless. It's timeless. It's beautiful.
Yes, it is.
It starts off so amazing with an 8-bit what set
Universal.
Yeah, Universal theme. Which is great. It just immediately throws you into what the style of this film is going to be. And then you have one of what I think is one of the best intro credit moments ever. First of all, they just hop right into the movie, so it gives you a good like 3 seconds of like not 3 seconds, like 2 minutes of like, this is what's happening. Here's a little bit of narration. Here's Scott. Here's all his roommates and his band. He's dating a 17-year-old, and then boom,
I feel like we should
credits to
that
band song.
Scott Pilgrim is kind of a creep for doing that.
He is. It's a really weird,
because he's 23, so it is kind of gross and weird.
But they do touch on that various times.
And also, their relationship is not
it's
like super sexualized or anything.
It's not, which is good, but it's also, yeah, it's just so.
The concept of it is a little creepy, but like it's not like when you watch those teen dramas and that's like 30-year-olds.
Ooh, yeah.
Being super hypersexualized. They're kind of both act like two really awkward.
They basically act like 12-year-olds. They're so stupid. But yeah. The music, amazing. All this.
Bill Hader.
Yeah.
As the narrator, video game voice guy.
Uh-huh. All of this original music made by someone. Hold up.
I actually have a vinyl of the Scott Pilgrim soundtrack. It's pretty great.
Oh my god. And it's just got a great cast.
And they all fit, and they're all different.
Yeah.
Like, they all have, like, a kind of all of him and, like, his friends, and everybody has a sort of really dry kind of characterization.
Uh-huh.
Like, there's not a lot. Like, they emote, like, Scott and Ramona, and
but there are some very
characters,
straight-faced
for, like,
moments.
The exes, they're all kind of just, like, straight.
Yeah.
And they don't overly emote. The ones you see it a lot with are, like, Anna Kendrick, all the exes...
Uh-huh.
Kiernan.
Ramona. Or not Ramona, sorry. Kim. No, not Kim. God damn it. His Knives.
Oh, Knives. Okay. That's what I thought you were going to say, but I wasn't sure.
I was like, which one is it? No, it's Knives.
Also an interesting bit of trivia. I don't know if you've watched New Girl, but in season 2, spoiler alert for New Girl, the guy that she's going to marry, Chevrong, played by, what was his name? I forgot. Satya Baba, was Matthew Patel.
Oh, okay. Just going to say real quick, Nigel Godrich composed the music. Good stuff.
Thank you, Nigel.
Amazing. Beautiful. We have you to thank always.
I just want to thank you for all your hard work.
Yeah. Yeah, no, the music in this is amazing. One of my favorite moments is at the beginning when Scott and Knives are playing DDR, and it's so in sync and so like stupid. Like, it's not normal DDR. It's like some like samurai ninja thing. So they're doing moves that like the DDR map wouldn't even capture or pick up.
But they're still doing them.
But they're still doing them. But at the same time, they're talking about something completely off topic and random, but it's still so serious. It's like taken so seriously while they're doing this stupid like dance, and it's great. Good work on the choreography. Good work.
Fight choreography.
To Michael Cera and Ellen Wong for performing that moment for us.
So, did you read my email? I skimmed it.
This is so boring.
What? Boring. Delete. Scott, are you waiting for the package you just ordered?
No.
You know what? He just left.
Crash. That's a moment taken out of the graphic novels. I've always wanted an in real life pee bar. I just thought it would be stupid and dumb.
I don't know why you'd want
fun
that.
to have just a bar hanging over your head. It's so stupid. But every time I watched it, I was like, I don't know, somehow satisfying to have.
Also, who pees that fast?
Just Scott. It's because he has to pee. He pees so often,
Probably.
To get out of situations.
I have to pee on her. I have to pee.
Yeah, the cast, you've got, Michael Cera, Kieran Culkin, Anna Kendrick, Aubrey Plaza.
Love her.
Jason Schwartzman, Ellen Wong, Chris Evans. We have Brie Larson.
Yes. Brandon Routh.
Yeah, it's like so good.
It's a pretty stacked cast.
And this was 10 years ago. So, they'd all done a fair amount of things, but
nothing is so prominent. This would have been, I think this is post Superman for Brandon Routh, because Superman Returns was 2000. I want to say 2006. I'd be really happy if I got that right. It is 2006. Yes, I nailed it.
And this was before Captain America?
Yes, Captain America was either 2011 or 2012.
Yeah. So this was like...
This is pre-Captain America, obviously pre-Captain Marvel.
Mm-hmm.
Right around Arrested Development, I think. Or maybe the end of it. I don't know when Arrested Development came out. Obviously post Home Alone.
What? Really? Wait. I thought Kieran did Home Alone after this and played Fuller.
You know what? That's actually interesting you brought that up, because a lot of people really think that just because he looks the same. He looks exactly the same. He still looks like a little 4-year-old kid. But this actually did come out after Home Alone. 15 years after, in fact. That's just how good he's aged.
Yeah, and
this was...
I think
maybe before Parks and Rec.
This was also like only really Darjeeling Limited and Fantastic Mr. Fox came out in terms of, and Rushmore in terms of like Jason Schwartzman and
Jason Schwartzman doesn't do a lot of big movies.
And like Wes Anderson. So it's, I
can't think of a blockbuster that he's actually done.
Yeah.
He does a lot of... All of his movies are kind of like indie movies or cult hits, because this movie, from what I remember, was not...
And this was...
maybe not well received, but it wasn't like... It did make a ton of money.
And this was pretty big for Aubrey Plaza, too. Like, we hadn't gotten a lot yet.
This would have been... I think it was before
Parks. Oh, it was before. Oh, no.
I don't remember what year Parks...
2009 was Parks and Rec. So this is like...
Okay.
They had it come out yet, or
kind of in between,
it?
But she still hadn't quite hit it. She's kind of popped recently with like Happiest Season and Child's Play, and I guess that's the only two I can really think of right now. But still, the point still stands.
So it was like to see all these faces. Trying to remember when I watched it. I knew Michael Cera and Kieran Culkin, and I think Aubrey Plaza and Jason Schwartzman. But like, there are still names where it was like, you may or may not have known them.
By the time I watched it, it was like 2014 or 2000. Wait, no. Like 2012 or 2013, maybe.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe 2014. But.
This was after Fantastic Four, though. I just gotta.
Well, yeah, it would have to be after Fantastic Four. So it's like right before Captain America.
So everyone knew Johnny Storm.
But I knew a lot of the people in it just because I'd seen a lot more stuff before this came out.
Yeah.
In 2010, I probably wouldn't have known who like anybody was. Maybe Michael Cera.
Mm-hmm. So, but it's great.
Actually, you know what? I think I watched this in 2013 because there was a while there where I would like pick an actor and I just watch like a bunch of their movies.
Oh.
So I watched like Superbad and some Arrested Development and this for Michael Cera. Maybe This Is the End was part of that. I don't really remember, but I think that's when I eventually ended up watching it.
Nice.
That was after high school.
Yeah. So I think that's also what helps make it kind of this timeless film too, is you can go back and be like, yes, these actors that are now big actors, but
this is when they were just little starting out.
Yeah, they're all little babies. The whole Chris Evans plotline is so stupid and amazing.
Sometimes let them do the wide shots when I get blazed back and
Yeah, he plays this really stupid like action hero guy. It's great.
He's this pretty good skater who became this pretty good actor.
Mm-hmm. I think
he's shooting a movie up near Toronto.
I think this was also one of the starts of Aubrey Plaza's typecasted roles.
Yeah,
it's great. I love those roles. But
luckily she's been sort of able to break out.
It's amazing. What did you do with my sister?
It's called A Job. Not that I know anything, little fuck like you would know about that.
Bread makes you fat.
Oh, that line always kills me. I love garlic bread. I could honestly eat it for every meal, or just all the time without stopping. You'd get fat. No, why would I get fat?
Bread makes you
fat.
Bread makes you fat. Bread makes you fat. That whole scene also just has the best like transitions and cuts in it too.
The whole thing is great. The editing is the best.
And then
the best editing in the world.
There's just the vegan powers, you know? Vegans and vegetarians rule all.
I asked
with our
magic.
That's why
she became vegan was for psychic powers. You know how you only use 10% of your brain? That's because the other 90% is filled with curds and whey. They teach you that in Vegan Academy. Don't get snippy with me, baby. If you know anything about the science, maybe I'd listen to a thing you're saying.
I think I would like to. I believe that Sonova has vegan powers. For sure.
Shout out to Sonova.
and then the vegan police. Beautiful. Great. So
the Punisher was in that.
Oh yeah.
The first one. Vegan police. That was Thomas Jane, one of the first Punishers.
I'm just looking at the cast list, and there's like some guy, lollipop hipster, demon hipster chick.
Oh my gosh!
Other Scott.
The guy who plays the lollipop
Party
hipster
goer.
was on Arrow.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Vegan police. Lucas Lee's film set crew.
My demon hipster chicks.
Lee's Palace Bar patron. Yeah, there's some great credits on here.
Also, Nelson Franklin in this movie. He's only in it for like 2 minutes, but he's great.
Who?
Nelson Franklin. He's Robbie in New Girl. He plays Komu in this. He plays an IT guy on The Office.
Oh my gosh. Okay.
But he's great. Hey, Komu, you know everybody. Yeah, pretty much I do. You know a girl with hair like this? Yeah, that's Ramona Flowers.
The whole moment with other Scott is great. Yeah, next week. Yeah, well, pancakes or something.
That sounds good. Yeah, I like the sound of that. He's actually just a really great guy. We actually have a ton in common.
We're gonna get breakfast next
And
week.
the way the movie just sort of like subverts expectations for how these type of movies play out.
Oh my gosh.
Like Scott never like he kind of comes into his own as like the hero, but he's still the whole time he's just like this really little awkward kid who's sort of weird and doesn't know what to do about anything.
Whoa, coins!
Aw, 135 is not even enough for the bus ride home.
Yeah. I'll loan you the extra 55 cents. Which, like, $2.75 for a bus ride? Or $1.75? I'm pretty sure it's $2.75.
It's like $2.75, yeah.
Like,
it is a lot.
What the heck, man? I guess, is that
what
Toronto? I don't know. Yeah, what the heck? Although, in the U.S., it has gone up to, like, what, $2.50? I don't know. It's done. I used to ride a bus for, like, 75 cents, $1.25, $1.50, and now it's so much
I'm too afraid of the bus to ride it.
Afraid you'll get dragged across to the other side of town and not be able to get home.
Not even that. I just had some bad bus experiences where I just keep getting lost and I don't understand how buses work, so I don't ride them anymore.
That's fair. That's fair. It totally depends on where you grow up and how much you use like public transport and whatnot and whatever.
Well, I used to ride the bus all the time, and then I moved to the Tri-Cities and I took a like 2.5 hour bus ride on accident.
Oof.
So
oof.
I never rode the bus after that. But it's fine. Everything is fine.
Everything is fine. Everything is awesome. Different movie.
Everything is awesome. But that's not the movie that we're talking about.
Did you read you read the graphic novels, but after you...
Yeah, I read it like a few years afterwards. I was in a library and I was bored and I saw them. I was like, yeah, I'll read them.
Yeah, if the library has all of them, you ever go to the library and you're like reading and you're like on issue like number 5 and then all of a sudden issue 6 is missing and you're like, come on guys, who did this? You ever do that? Just me? No? Okay.
No, I was like that, but I was just dumb and I read them out of order anyways and then I was confused and
Gavin.
I waited for them to come back. Well, I did it when I read
that was just me with like every graphic novel or manga or like comic book that I would try to read because, you can only check out so many. So you read, and they're so short that you read a bunch at the library. And then by the time your mom's like, okay, time to go, you're like, oh shit, well, I just read the 5 books I was going to check out. So.
That's true. I'd check out like the maximum amount and I'd bring it back the next day.
Yep. Yeah. And then when you like reserve comic books and you finally get them, but it takes you like 30 minutes to read it and you're like, fuck, now I have to wait 3 weeks for the next issue. This is dumb. Anyways. I think my only complaint when watching this movie, and I mean, this only came up when I was rewatching it, is like they have a really good opportunity for some like bisexual representation and then they kind of like toss it away. In like oh, but I was just bi-curious, blah, blah, blah. Or like try to play it off. But there's like a really good moment there where you're like she keeps saying exes because she's not being specifically ex-boyfriends and ex-girlfriends. Mm-hmm. But then, yeah, they kind of throw it off. But exes. I think also for 2010, it's a pretty bold move, which is great to see.
That's true.
So, as much as, there's a couple throwaway lines where you're like, okay, but did you really have to do that? It's like still great to have released all of that. But we still need more representation of all the things. That was the representation song by yours truly.
If you steal it, that's 99 cents. So, be prepared.
Put representation in your scripts. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know where. It's great. Just the Bollywood like dance number,
first
fight battle. The amount of coins, like I feel it, Scott. Anytime I see a coin, I'm like, oh shit, bruh, there's like some laundry money.
I didn't get his autograph.
Damn it. Yeah, at the end, I always think about how much money that would be.
There goes our deal. Well, I like the inclusion of like coins, like when you play like Mario or
Or like
Sonic
Sonic,
has
yeah.
rings, but they have the coin system. So every time you defeat a guy, there's coins that come out of them. I thought
And
that
they
was a
use
really
like the
cool
same
addition.
coin sound too, or like a very similar coin sound. And you're like, this is it.
And the one thing that's sort of brilliant about Edgar Wright all the time, because he's the best, is just like his attention to detail
Oh,
and his
yeah.
storytelling and like
He's got amazing
how
rhythm.
every X goes like 1,000 more points or a million more points, or whatever it was. How each one has the number somewhere before or on them.
Mm-hmm.
How like
even just all the characteristics. Every time a character is introduced, like Scott Pilgrim, 22 years old, something or other, level 5. You know.
Nigga.
Gideon is G-Man.
That cocky cock.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm so pissed off for you.
Edgar Wright has really good rhythm in terms of editing and just everything. What else did he have before this film came out? That was the Edgar Wright song. Do 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 do. Damn, he did a lot in the 90s, and then did all of his what do you call the trilogy?
The Cornetto trilogy.
Yeah, so then he had Everything But World's End before Scott Pilgrim. Like he did a lot before Scott Pilgrim. Like this was like they knew what they were getting into when they did this, which it was like one of the best choices they could have made.
Yes. I feel like there's not a lot of other directors that I know of that could do like the same kind of job. Maybe like James Gunn, maybe. Trying to think of someone. Maybe Favreau. But I don't know. Just because it also shows how much like he cares about the material and making things look good and look right.
Oh yeah.
Things like that. You just really see the care, and I feel like that's part of what makes it so great. And like the people, you can tell like the actors care about it, or at least are really good at pretending. That's why they get paid.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, and I think this film was the amalgamation of like comic book adapted to screen kind of things. Like when you think about like Into the Spider-Verse, there's so many like similar ideas in terms of bringing that comic book to life, or just a graphic novel to life, bringing in text graphics and dialogue and animation and stuff, and
but also in a way that it's not like overdoing it or underdoing it.
Right, like, and it's not like an anime. Like they're not just taking a manga and turning it into an anime and copying it frame for frame. It's its own thing, but it has very, very beautiful homages to the original.
It includes dialogue from the original, frames from the original, things like that.
The whole scene when he first meets Ramona, or when he first takes her out and they're walking through the snow, is like taken from the graphic novels. You know, it's great.
I just want to take a moment to talk about the dialogue and how they're all like super, like kind of informal and sort of awkward dialogue. And, like they don't always know what everything is. Like when you just said when they're walking through the snow, it's like, I think there's a thingy over there. And it's like, a thing. Like they don't really have names for stuff. Like they don't call it like a temporal portal or a Googa or a Schmoozma what's it or a Flim Flam or a Razzmatazz. They just sort of are like it's a thing. Like it's I don't know some sort of thing.
I just got really confused. Sorry, I got really confused because I was looking up Jonathan Simmons, who plays young Neil,
He's great.
And he had...
He's been in a lot of stuff, actually.
Yeah, he had Andrew Neiman from Whiplash, and I was like, he doesn't play Andrew Neiman from Whiplash. He plays Andrew Neiman in the original Whiplash short.
Gotcha.
Which also had J.K. Simmons.
That doesn't surprise me at all.
Yeah. But, yeah. They're not related, are they? Hold on. I don't think so.
What do you play? Zelda. It's kind of a big question.
Young Neil. You can now be called Neil.
Neil.
Yeah, it's great.
Neil knows my parts.
No, not related to J.K. Simmons. Yeah, good stuff. Good stuff.
It's more than good. It's great.
And every time Wallace gets together with one of Stacy's boyfriends.
Wallace again?
It's great.
Well, and then also just like how the dialogue reveals things about characters, like without going too much into it, and you don't really like talk about it again. You know, like Wallace again, and you already know that
he's done this how many times?
He's at least one more time, and he's continually does so, which I think is hilarious.
When they're going through their room and it's like Wallace, Scott, Wallace, Scott.
Wallace's coat.
Wallace's
Scott's
TV,
coat.
Wallace's bed, Wallace's couch.
Wallace's coat.
Scott's
Better.
clothes on the floor. Wallace.
I'm gonna need the bed tonight. It's for sex.
And maybe for the next 7 nights. Maybe for the next several months. I need you to move out.
Maybe you can crash with your girlfriend. Oh, it's probably just because he's better than you. I was like how Wallace was like, he was never really on Scott's side. He was just kind of like, I will nudge you in whatever direction will get you out of my house.
Mm-hmm.
You were meant to be with her. Plus, I need you to move out. Yeah, I'm kind of banking on her calling you back so I don't have to feel all guilty and shit.
Good stuff. Bring Kieran Culkin back for everything. Do 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 do. Yeah, and I mean, not everyone. A fair amount of people know about the film and the pop culture behind it, whether or not you're like within the fan base, if that makes sense. Whether or not you're like, you know, it's like one of your favorite movies, or if you are a big fan of the graphic novels, a lot of people who have seen it still kind of like know the references. Like my friend recently dyed their hair, and they're like, "Oh, look, I'm in my like Ramona Flowers stage." And I'm like, more people get this reference than
week and a half.
Yeah, like, but more people get this reference than like you would think, you know. And like maybe they don't know every single quote, but they know who Scott Pilgrim is and Ramona, you know.
Like if you just sort of loosely bring it up, they probably know what you're talking about.
Yeah, which I think is great. And that just shows how much of an impact the film made because it's so great.
Made 48.1.
Wow.
Let's see. It had an $85 million budget.
Wow.
So it did not do well. But it was a cult hit, so, you know, it works.
But how much has it made since?
That's a good question. I don't know.
Plenty. Probably more than enough.
In the time since, I'm sure it has.
Yeah. Yeah, good stuff. Recently around the time when they were ramping up for the 10th anniversary, and then as well as a few days after, a couple weeks after, Edgar Wright was posting a bunch of behind the scenes snapshots and like little videos and stuff. So there's some great footage there on his Twitter, which just goes through like there's a really great one from the Scott jumping out the window scene and how they filmed that with the stunt double. I encourage you all to check it out if you enjoy that kind of thing. And then there's also just some cool, fun, cute behind the scenes photos of the cast and crew being funs and friends. And then of course go watch the 10-year reunion reading because it's amazing.
This is not a paid advertisement, but if they want to pay us, I wouldn't say no.
Yeah, no, I don't think they're going to be paying us.
Well, that's their loss then, that they can't sponsor our little podcast. It has over 100 downloads, by the way. Not to brag,
but... by the time this episode comes out, though, maybe we'll have doubled that. So keep listening.
Or
keep
maybe even
downloading. Thanks for following.
Half that.
Along. Half that. Oh, it's going to go down to 50 again?
I don't know. Listen, I don't know a lot about numbers or how they work, but I do know this. I don't know anything about it.
Yeah. Well, we'll just take a moment here to thank you all for listening and joining along and sticking with us and enjoying what we've made. Hopefully, you've enjoyed it. And if there's stuff you want to see or hear or specific topics you want us to cover, let us know. We have an Instagram, which is Bane and Mickey Podcast.
All one word.
All one word. You can also find Gavin and I on Instagram. Mine is K_M for Monsoon, N for Narwhal, _Y for Yak. And
mine's just GSEDIES77. I'm pretty sure.
Mm-hmm.
Or it's not. I don't think I have any numbers in mine. Mine's just.
I don't think you do. And then I also have Twitter, what is my Twitter handle? That's a good question.
Oh, look, it's all the same. I think all my social media is the same.
Gavin is helpful. I am not. Mine is at 27 words. That's a 2, a 7, and then WORDS. That's a good way of also contacting us for specific things. You can comment on our Instagram posts or tweet at us.
Or you can tell us to bite the big one. Whatever you want, really.
You can tell us to go away.
Do what you want.
We're
not going to, but you can tell us.
As much as we make this podcast for ourselves because we are dumb dorks and film nerds, we also want to make sure that our listeners are enjoying the content that we make as well. So let us know what you want to hear from us. And we'll try to add it in.
And we will try and make it happen after we get through our giant-ass list.
This episode is just the musical episode. I'm so sorry. You have to listen to our horrible singing.
I mean, I'm a little sorry you have to listen to our singing, but I'm also not sorry at all.
Sorry, not sorry. You know...
If you didn't know what you were getting into, you can suck it.
You can suck it. Okay, on that note, let's do some random topics.
Yeah, we should probably do that before we get too many notes.
Before we lose you all. Alrighty, what color should we go for today?
Red, pink.
Reddish, pinkish red. It's only pink, but yes.
What you're gonna see just when you're dead. Da 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 da. Reddish pink.
The complexities of the universe. Wow. This box really knows.
That was exactly what we want to talk about.
Yeah. Complexities of the universe.
Complexities of the universe.
You know, don't mess with your exes because you never know when they will become evil exes and put together a league of evil exes. You never know. Although at the same time, it might be good because if you're running low on a bit of cash and you really good at fighting, good way to get some cash. But make sure you practice your Dance Dance Revolution beforehand because that might come in handy. Dance Dance Revolution, a little bit of Guitar Hero, a little bit of Rock Band, and you got yourself covered.
Yeah, maybe that's the lesson here. You should try and find someone with evil exes if you're poor, so you can beat them up and get money from them.
Or if you just really hate your ex, why not make a league of your own?
That's true. That's also a good idea.
That's true.
Though you do risk losing out on some money, but
you do, unless you're so confident that
you just gotta have a lot of confidence. Confidence is key.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, clearly Gideon had some confidence going through 6 or 7 other people beforehand. You know.
I mean, look at us. We have a lot of confidence. And we
Yeah.
keep putting out this podcast that you don't want to listen to.
Confidence. Heh, heh, heh. Heh.
E.
Should we do another one, or should we just leave it at that?
Let's see if there's any other good ones.
See what I did there? I was turning it away from Batman, so we didn't get copyright infringement. So if we get in trouble for that little ditty there, it's all Gavin's fault, because I was doing great. Gavin's the one who ruined it. Why does Mooney hate Gavin? Does Mooney still hate you?
Probably. Listen, I don't want to brag, but I'm pretty hateable.
Mooney is our friend's dog.
And I met him once, and he was just very mean to me.
Mooney,
kind of like my own cat sometimes.
Yeah, Mooney is just very protective, and also Mooney is a small dog, and Gavin is a tall guy. Small and tall. Small get fright. Tall, fright, small.
Yes, I probably scared the poor little fella.
Yeah.
Made him.
Maybe it was also just your hair. Have you seen Mooney again since you shaved your head?
I don't know.
I think we should experiment with this.
See what kind of hair Mooney does and doesn't like.
Yeah.
I'll get some wigs.
Ooh.
See what he prefers.
Oh my gosh. This is so off topic, but I was watching a video on YouTube. I fell down a hole where it was babies don't recognize their dads when they shave. So like the dad would cover their mouth and the baby would be all happy and whatever, and then they take it off and they're completely clean shaven and the baby's just like, and then starts crying. Good stuff. Please don't torture your children.
I'm afraid that would ever happen to me if I had a baby. I would shave my face
it would totally happen.
Just never look at me again.
Do it with Stitch and see what Stitch does.
He already doesn't really like me, so it's fine.
Oh, that's not true.
He likes me, but...
He loves his daddy.
Yes, I know. He likes me. He just likes to bug me and annoy me. And get on my last nerve.
It's because he loves you.
All the things my furry son does.
Fur babies.
And on that topic...
All right, we're going to leave y'all alone for 7 days so that you can forget about us and get us out of your heads.
And then be like, oh, I wonder if they're talking about anything interesting.
Yeah.
Then we'll, bam, hit you with something else.
Lightning crashes. Thunder rumbles. Evil sounds. Chains crackle. Okay, anyways. It becomes a horror podcast in the middle of the year. Okay. No, it doesn't. All right.
It's just a regular podcast.
It's just we're just still doing what we're doing. Don't worry. We're not changing it. Really.
No, we're not.
Anyways,
we don't have time.
Thanks for listening. Hope you enjoyed. Have a good week, and we'll see you next time.